Moving on, Supreme Court pick, Kamala Jackson Brown.
Yeah, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
So she's about to, I mean, she'll probably be approved. I don't know. Knowing how we fight the Republicans, nothing's going to happen. And they're just going to put this person through. Remember what they did to Brett Kavanaugh? Remember they went through his yearbook and tried to find like his inside jokes. And they're like, this means gang rape.
Poof. He pooted or something. It was like a word for fart. And it's like, that's a gang raper.
That means gang rape. Everything meant gang rape.
Christine Blasey Ford is like on the cover of magazines.
Yeah, everything was a code word. They were trying to analyze all the code words to figure out how the gang raping was.
I like to drink beer. Pedophile. Like it's just.
And now this person, Ketanji Brown Jackson, is that right?
Yeah, Ketanji.
So she actually has rulings where she's been a judge.
I think they just chose this. I just got there now. KBJ. They just want another RBG. Like they want another
KBJ.
Yeah.
Don't let them get that PR.
They're going to elevate her.
But yeah, so this lady actually has rulings where she's been lenient to child pornographers, people with possession and people that were making it. She was giving less sentences than were recommended by the prosecution. So not even like the state, just like less sentences than the people that they were up against wanted.
Bad.
Which is so bad. And then they blamed...
If there's one thing I'd be lenient on, it wouldn't be that category.
It wouldn't be that one. So they completely came for Brett Kavanaugh, try to ruin his life, to try to destroy his family, his reputation, every single thing based on nothing. And now this person who actually has a questionable track record, no one's going to do anything because we don't play to win. We don't play to win. We play to look like we tried. And then we say, oh, look what the Democrats are doing. They're crazy. Let's raise some money to fight back against the Democrats. Look how crazy they are. But when we're in power, we don't actually do anything. All we do is make it look like we're trying, and then look how bad they are. And like we have all these morals. But like the left doesn't care. They take power and they do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They come after their political enemies. They do it. And it's like, oh, we don't do that.
They gloat about it.
Yeah. And we're the moral high ground people. We don't do that. We do the right thing. And we just get our lunch eaten every week by these people who want to kill us.
Yeah.
And we don't fight back, even though they're breaking the rules. So they break the rules, but it's okay. We stick to our values and morals.
And get smoked.
We don't play by the rules, and we get smoked. They steal an election. They do all this stuff, and we just watch it. They ruin our lives with COVID, and we just watch it. And now with this Supreme Court pick, they're probably going to put her through with not even that much flack.
Well, it's interesting because to me, it's like a big dog and pony show. It's such a team thing that it's like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the opposing arguments. The Democrats are moving forward no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's funny because to me, it comes down to like, well, are you convincing Joe Manchin? Are you convincing Kristen Sinema? Like the borderline people who might be offended at some of this stuff. So it really comes down to like 2 or 3 people.
But it is just a show. Look how Cory Booker talks. Remember what they did with Brett Kavanaugh. This is how Cory Booker talks to Judge Brown Jackson.
Behind you and your family is your daughter, Layla.
He's like about to cry.
And when she was 11 years old, she wrote a letter to President Obama urging him to nominate her mother, you, to the United States Supreme Court. I suspect after these proceedings, and please God, after your confirmation of the Supreme Court, something new will happen in America. That letter from your daughter will not be exceptional. Whether they're daughters of white parents or black parents or biracial.
So it all becomes like, oh, this is a black thing. Meanwhile, Clarence Thomas is already black and on the Supreme Court. But now it's a black thing. And it's like, oh, your family's here. They're going to watch you get approved. We're already skipping all the steps. Why aren't we accused her of anything?
Yeah.
Why aren't we going through every single hearing and judgment she's ever done and pick it apart? Like we can't. Because we won't, but they do it to us, and we go, oh, man, they're so mean.
They're so mean. They're ignoring all the good stuff.
They're so mean to us. They don't play by the rules, and now they just run one right past us, and Cory Booker pretends to cry, oh, your daughter is sitting behind you. It's like,
the guy must go to acting classes. That's unreal.
He must do something, because he was very offended. And look how this other guy, I don't know his name, the guy with the big fro, this is how he was talking about Brett Kavanaugh. This is how he's talking about Kavanaugh versus how he's talking about this new lady.
Kavanaugh isn't telling the truth. Oh, how can he defend himself? He doesn't know who she is even. He knows who she is. Yeah. He remembers the party. I remember every single girl I passed a note to in chemistry class. Right. All right? He knows who she is.
Have a normal kind of above board hearing
let her be confirmed since she doesn't change the balance of power of the court anyway, and go back to talking about the things that work for them. You know, so go back to crying about gas prices or talking about Hunter Biden's laptop.
So yeah, that's the attitude now. Let's just get her approved. It's not even a big deal. Let's just move on to the other things we're distracted by. Just openly saying it. But with Brett Kavanaugh, you remember that night, that gang rape
fake
party.
made up night that never.
When you were in high school, you remember. Absolute Muppets. And then,
so yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, it's a team. The people who are on your team are going to fight for your thing, and that's it. And it can go on without you being able to stop it. You know,
we need fighters back. That's why Trump was so good. He actually fought, and he wouldn't, like with Kavanaugh, a lot of people were like, we should just pick someone else. They're going crazy on him. And it's like, for, you know what, sacrifice people to this mob that's never going to be satiated.
Ever.
So, and then it's everyone.
And then what would they do if we rescinded Kavanaugh's nomination and nominated somebody else?
They'd approve the next guy.
They'd approve him too. Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd
exactly.
be great.
And it's interesting too, because a lot of this craziness has happened in it's like accelerating how crazy things are getting. Like 10 years ago, being against same-sex marriage like wasn't a big deal, right?
Not at all.
And now it's like the number one thing, and everyone has to be for it. And like everyone, it feels like online, especially, a lot of people are commenting that the world got crazier, we stayed the same. Like the world went further left, more quote progressive, off the rails, completely parabolic. They went nuts, and like we just kind of stayed more true to our values and kind of like settled in and like dug our boots in a little bit and like really sat into what we believe in our values while everyone else like created this huge storm around us.
It's also funny to see and frustrating to see how many people change with the time. Like, like, did you not have anything to base your beliefs on before? Like, what were you? Just flapping in the breeze, waiting for like, oh, there's my orders. Those are my marching orders. I'm Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll cash my check, my 15
So
mil.
these manic losers are like up to bat now, and they're coming for us. And it's interesting too. There was a survey done in Canada about the reaction to Ukraine, Russia. What should they do? Should they provide weapons? No fly zones. Get involved directly.
Yeah.
And basically, all of the vaccinated people were calling for like authoritarian overreach. We should, we have a no-fly zone.
Tougher sanctions, seize the assets.
Exactly. Seize the assets, tougher sanctions, no-fly zones. The vaccinated, scared people were willing to do that, while the unvaccinated people, for the most part, were like, let's not get involved. We have
None
our
of
own
the
problems.
above. Let's not do
None
anything.
of the above. So it's like that's what we're dealing with here. It's like the scared people have gotten so wound up and so crazy and so off the rails, they're scared. And the people who they're scared of are the people who are not in that same groupthink mindset. So the people who aren't afraid are who they're afraid of. So now they're calling for government overreach. Forget our rights. Forget the Constitution. Forget whatever we had in place before this. We need to protect ourselves from the bad people. And that's like what we're up against here. And we see it in every single facet of society.
And so Republicans have been asking some pointed questions about in the Supreme Court confirmation process. Like one was, what is a woman?
Yeah.
To the judge.
What is a woman?
I can't define that. I'm not a biologist. And it's like, well, the biologists aren't the one who are unable to define it.
Yeah,
they define it pretty quickly.
That's actually a good point. At least she's even saying the biologists know.
Yeah.
What a woman is.
Well, it's like, that's not the reason you're not answering. It's the gender-obsessed academic weirdos.
That's so true. And I bet they can find a biologist who will say, well, there's no such thing as a woman.
Oh, they find a priest who says God's non-binary and gay, so they can find pretty much anything, guys.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, she couldn't even say what a woman was.
So we'll see. I mean, hopefully Joe Manchin doesn't like what he hears when he goes, a woman? You can't define a woman? And then somebody withholds their vote or something, and then maybe the Republicans take back the Senate, and we can string it out and just get someone else, because this person would be a train wreck.
Absolute train wreck. And everyone will be saying it's racist, it's anti-woman.
You can't define a woman. Are you not going to be an activist judge? Are you not going to just like go do whatever you want, interpret the law however it fits your political party?
The most basic question on earth, you can't answer that. So it's like, oh, you're going to be a judgment of truth? You're a judge?
Yeah, isn't all law like based on like a fixed definition of something? And then it's like, well, what did that word mean in the contract? And it's like, it has to mean something incredibly specific. But no, woman doesn't mean anything. It's nothing.
Yep. So they're going to push it through because they want to win.
Is Leah Thomas a champion? That's
Yeah, is
let's
Leah
just.
Thomas a woman? And what would the judge say?
I'm done. I'm done asking questions about the your legal history, and I'm just doing like pulse checks. You know, like is Leah Thomas good? What do you think of Rachel Levine? You know,
81 million votes for Joe Biden. Does that ring true to you?
start throwing out vibe
So
checks.
the Democrats just do what they want. They just will themselves to success. They know how to win.
They'll lie. They'll
They
obscure.
know how to win, and they're going to do it. And that's what we see all over the world.